Oh, sorry, I didn't see you there. I was just catching up on the business section. Earlier this year, we read a book called Search Inside Yourself. In my opinion, this was the most influential and important book I have ever read. Though its content came to be a bit repetitive, the main ideas of practicing mindfulness and developing emotional intelligence were pounded into my thought process and are now important parts of my everyday life. After reading this book, and reading 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, I had a paradigm shift, or a aha moment of my own. If I want to develop myself as a leader in this world, I have to be mindful, always, and use that mindfulness to be highly effective. That being said, in the spirit of the holiday, I thought it would only make sense to use a menorah to represent my leadership philosophy. The middle candle, or shamash, which in English translates to helper or servant, is the first candle lit, which is then used to melt the other candles into place and light them, each of the 8 representing one day. In my model, the shamash represents mindfulness, which is used to motivate the other 8 candles, or characteristics, of an effective leader. When the shamash melts the bottom of a candle, it's like how being mindful can lead to a paradigm shift. The newly melted candle is then placed in a holder in the menorah, now representing its own characteristic of effective leadership. This paradigm shift is the same as the decision to build and develop said characteristic. That being said, this is my leadership philosophy. Be productive. Sometimes I will catch myself doing absolutely nothing productive for a long period of time. This is generally a result of my loss of focus. Being mindful will almost always fix this problem, as it is much harder to slack off when all attention is focused during every waking moment. Begin with the end in mind. One of the 3 practices for motivation discussed in Search Inside Yourself is envisioning, or seeing the desired future for ourselves. To truly begin with the end in mind, you must look deep to have a clear vision of what you want your future to be. Put first things first. As humans, we tend to multitask to be more effective, but sometimes having too much going on at once can actually work against productivity. Determine what's most important and put the first things first. Think win-win. It's important to know what you have to offer a situation and to know what choice offers the most for you. Try to go into every situation with this in mind. Just remember what Drake said in 0 to 100.
Know yourself, know your work.
Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Most people go into conversations with ideas they want to spread. Be careful, as sometimes this can block the flow of understanding. Try to put yourself into their shoes and really experience what the other person is experiencing when they talk to you. This is an easy way to develop trust and build emotional intelligence. Bro, so I was at my grandma's house this weekend and she made cookies.
Dude, no. I went to this party this weekend, and dude, remember Catherine from back home? Yeah, we saw Catherine. She took an entire bottle of Silestring and sprayed it.
Synergize. 2 is better than 1. Using emotional intelligence is key to finding mutual trust and understanding, and using them for communication. Energize. Although this was not one of the 7 habits mentioned in the book, I believe being mindful of the fact that better energy equals better work is very important and becomes very clear in most situations. My country, 'tis of thee. What is that? You suck. Sharpen the saw. At the end of the day, as beauty is in the eye, change is in the mind of the beholder. It's important to use mindfulness to fully assess the balance of one's own physical, mental, social, emotional, and spiritual health on a regular basis.
You gotta eat your fruits and vegetables.
When a menorah is traditionally lit for Hanukkah, the shamash lights 1 candle the first day, 2 the second day, 3 the third, and so on. This is just a reminder that these characteristics are not all meant to be developed at the same time. Also notice that even though the first candle was lit on the first day, it had to be relit each of the next 7 days. In other words, these characteristics are not achieved, they are developed, and must be worked on continuously and repeatedly to maintain and progress.